genius Anthony Romero joins me now as he gets ready to fight on August the 25th for Dana White's Contender Series when he meets Mike Breeden. Anthony, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good, man. Thank you for the time. Now, I do understand. I want to backtrack a little bit here. You were supposed to fight on last season's Contender Series, but your contractual obligations to King of the Cage prevented you from having a fight last season. How excited are you now to actually get your shot here and fight on the big stage in Vegas?
Oh, I'm really excited. I knew it was gonna happen no matter what. I was gonna get there. There was a little roadblock, but it's no big deal. Everything happens for a reason. I was 5-0 then. Now 7 8. All my skills on August 25th.
So then you went and you fought in early March, right before the pandemic broke out. Did you feel extra pressure to get that win? I mean, it was a dominant win at that. You got a first-round finish, but did you feel extra pressure to get that W there because you were on the radar of Dana White in the Contender Series?
I think there's always pressure when there's an undefeated fighter. He's always trying to win, no matter how he can, right? I think there's always pressure. So to me, it's normal. It's nothing different. And there's that saying, pressure makes diamonds, right? So it's just normal for me, and yeah, it's no big deal. I'm ready to show off the skills, and everything's the same.
So when your management team at Dodge Sports let you know that you are getting this shot, who was the first person you called and told?
My parents. I ran downstairs. I told my parents, and they were so happy. They've been with me since the very beginning, right? They're the ones who got me into the sport, and I can't thank them enough for putting me into this. And now I'm really I'm able to do something with it, right? Instead of just going to regular tournaments, doing jiu-jitsu and all that, I'm able to show off that I can be a high-level professional athlete. And yeah, so they were the first ones that I told. My whole family, my brother and sister, my mom and dad, and they were all happy.
So that last fight, as I just mentioned, it got you to 7-0. Here you are. You're one of the biggest prospects, not just in Canada, but in the world, really. And you're getting this shot here at Contender Series in front of Dana White and the UFC brass. How did the pandemic affect your ability to train leading up to this fight?
Oh, it didn't affect me at all. Besides having partners, it didn't really affect me. I have my little brother, Simon. He's a great boxer, so he holds pads for me, and we go for runs. We do weights, and we do all our training like normal. So nothing's different. It's just nice not having to travel everywhere. I'm usually driving an hour for my training there and back. So there's 2 hours of my day, and then 2 hours training session. So then my day is done pretty much. So yeah, it's kind of nice to be relaxing and then just go in my backyard and training. So
as far as the sparring goes, have you been able to get a lot of work in that way?
Yeah, everything is good. I have a couple partners now. Now that things are opening up, so I have a couple partners. Still small group training, and yeah, I got great partners, great coaches, and yeah, all the preparation is even better than before. So I'm excited.
I've asked every fighter or every coach that I've interviewed during this pandemic, do you have a Netflix suggestion or any movies for anyone out there watching? We've all had a little bit of downtime, so I'm sure you've seen one or two things you like.
Yeah, it's a good question. Trying to think. There's a couple shows, I guess, that recently came up is that the Floor is Lava show. It's a good family show. I like that one. It's different, right? People falling into the lava trying to get through this obstacle course. My favorite part is how they fall into the lava and then you never see them again. It's like they actually disappear for real. So I like that a lot. And then other than that, I wasn't really watching too much, just video games and training and yeah, other than that, everything else was pretty much normal.
Tell me about your growth as a fighter, because you're undefeated as a pro. Your only loss as an amateur was all the way back in 2015. How have you evolved? Like, how much better have you gotten since then? I got to imagine it's like night and day.
Oh, so much better. The Anthony from then wouldn't last a round with the Anthony from now, let alone maybe a minute. So I'm happy with the improvements I've made. That's my second amateur fight. I was just a young kid. I had my prom the week of that fight. There's so many things that happened that week, and I learned a lot from it. And from then on, I started training with the Brock wrestling team. My coach, Chris Prickett, high level wrestling coach, and he's shown me so many things. I'm a completely different fighter from that fight, and now you see all my fights. I'm wrestling, and then now I'm striking. So like everything is completely different, and I'm a totally different fighter.
Do you still think back to that loss every now and then, and for if you need some motivation or anything?
Yeah, I always look back at it. It's always a humbling fight when you lose. Even just sparring rounds, you look back and maybe you get whooped, right? And you're like, oh man, that's humbling. You look at your mistakes, and but I don't think that you necessarily have to lose to learn. You can also win and learn from mistakes you make in that fight. Small things, just small positions. If you lose a minute, looking back and thinking, why did I lose that minute? So I don't think you necessarily have to lose to learn from something or get motivation, but that's just my opinion.
I do want to get your take on the lightweight division. Obviously, that's where you compete at 155 pounds. You got Khabib stuck over in Russia because of the pandemic and everything going on. But then you have Justin Gaethje, who looked like an absolute monster and beating Tony Ferguson. When you look at the lightweight division right now, how do you feel it compares to the other elite weight classes? I mean, it's pretty deep.
Oh yeah, for sure. There's monsters in that division, and that's what I'm signing up for, and I'm excited to get in there with those guys and compete with the best in the world. Those guys started somewhere and they worked their way up, and I'm gonna start my journey there pretty soon, and why can't I be in the top 5 or be a champion one day, just like them, and yeah, I'm excited to get my opportunity and show the world why I belong in the lightweight division.
How long do you think until we'll see you in the top 10 or maybe crack the top 5?
Good question. I'd say I get in the UFC now. We'll say 2 to 3 years.
Okay.
I'll be right in there. Knock on wood, there's no injuries or anything, but that's my goal.
I like that. I think that's a very realistic goal for where you're at right now. Now, tell me, Vegas is right around the corner again, August the 25th. Who will be making the trip with you down for Contender Series?
Yeah, so my coach is Chris Prickett, my wrestling coach, and my striking coach, Linda Whitlock. Those guys are coming with me. I believe I'm only able to bring 2 people with me. So otherwise, I'd have my other coach, Roy McDonald, my jiu-jitsu coach, and maybe one day my girlfriend will be in my corner as well. Joking. But yeah, those are my 3 coaches, and but I can only bring 2, so I'm gonna bring those guys with me, and I trust those guys with everything.
What are your thoughts on fighting at the Apex in front of no fans? Do you feel like that's going to be a benefit you at all, or do you feel like it might take away from the excitement? Because here you are making your debut, and I'm sure you imagine it would be in front of a big arena filled with screaming fans.
Yeah, no, I'm good with it. I'm happy. I've had fights where I haven't been able to hear my coaches at all, and it's just, everything is pure reaction. All you hear is just fans chanting for me or my opponent. So it'd be nice. It'll probably relax me a lot more because I'm going to hear my coach's voices, and I'll hear his coach's voice. So it's going to be nice and chill, and I love that place. I went there last year. I went to watch my teammate compete, and I know the environment. I'm ready to go.
When you see the COVID precautions and stuff that they're doing and the testing where they're sticking the swab basically right up into your brain or all the way down your throat, are you I can't imagine you're really looking forward to that. What do you think of when you see that online and the testing that they're doing?
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that, but it's the price I'll have to pay to achieve my dream. I'm gonna have to do it a few times. I believe I have to do it every time I go into the PI, and I'll have to do it when I come home as well. So it's something that I'm gonna just have to get used to, and I guess I hope the more I do it, the easier it gets. But we'll see. We'll see.
Let's talk about Mike Breeden. He's 8-2. He has been finished before. What kind of a fight stylistically do you think we're going to see?
It's gonna be everywhere. He's gone against wrestlers. He's gone against strikers. and he's a very disciplined fighter, very patient. Um, but like I said, I've said it many times before that we're both we're trying to achieve a dream, and when someone's trying to achieve a dream, they'll do anything they can to get there. Which is why this fight's going to be so exciting, because we're both going to do like anything we can. We're going to try to knock each other out. We're going to try to tap each other out, and it's just going to be very exciting.
Do you see a big hole in his game, or do you have is there a discipline where you feel like you're going to have a major advantage in this fight?
Yeah, I see things here and there. I'm sure he sees things that I have holes in, just as every fighter. Just being smart. That's why my nickname's Genius. Finding the holes and doing the best I can to expose them. And yeah, that's pretty much all. I'll keep that stuff to myself, and we'll show it off on the 25th.
So official prediction, do you see yourself getting your hand raised via submission, knockout, decision? What is your gut telling you?
Yeah, I can see a submission. I can see a submission for sure. I'd say second, third round. First round, I'm sure we're both gonna try to feel each other out. But if not, he wants to blow the tank the first round, then we'll do that as well. But I'm a smart fighter, and I know what I'm doing. So.
Hence the nickname, the Genius, right? So there you go. Well, listen,
Exactly.
Anthony, I really appreciate you taking the time to join me, my friend. Best of luck here in training, making sure you stay completely healthy and getting to the fight. If there's anyone you'd like to thank or plug your social media, the floor is yours.
Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram at genius_MMA. Same thing with Twitter. And then thank you to my family, my sponsors, my manager, Dodge Sports. My girlfriend, very supportive, and yeah, all my fans, and I hope you guys tune in August 25th and watch a dream come true.